Hi everybody, this is Maria from Barefoot Holistics, and this is You in Mind, where we're holding spiritual talks with light workers from all across the globe. I'm just waiting for our guest to arrive, and I think I see him now. Welcome, 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 Socrates.
Nice to be here.
Nice to see you again. It's been such a long time.
Yes, it did. How have you been?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm very good as well.
Good. You're looking well.
Thank you. You too.
Well, there's nobody on right now. Hopefully I can't get on Facebook because usually I send reminders out to people last minute and Facebook for some reason. So people when they're joining and they can also watch them afterwards as well. But
I can't hear everything that you're saying.
really? Oh no.
I mean, there's sometimes that I do and then it goes away and then comes back.
Do you have earplugs? Sometimes that makes it better.
Sorry?
The earplugs.
I can use them, but I don't think they are helpful. I used them before.
Hi, George is here. Hi, George. Hi. Joining us now, Socrates. Can you hear better now?
No, actually, it was a connection issue, and now that your voice is lower, so I prefer without this.
Okay. Hi, Kathy. Welcome, everybody. Oh, you've muted your microphone, Socrates. You have muted your microphone. That's it.
Okay.
Back. Technical. It's fun. Hi, Bex. So if you look where it says comment, I think there's a button that you press and you can turn.
Okay. Yes, I can see it.
Have you found it?
Yes, I have.
Okay, brilliant. So, welcome, Socrates. Namaste. Thank you for today. It's an honor and a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, you're one of the inspirations here in Cyprus, and I really want to. And you're the first. Welcome. It's brilliant. I'd like to get more here on as well, because there's a lot of people doing really good stuff out here right now. So Socrates is a psychotherapist and helps people with all life issues and his spiritual being on his path. George is saying hi, Socrates. And you help people with life issues. And let me just wrote it all down.
I'm sorry, Mariam. I can't hear you very well. Your voice interrupts. It's not. It needs. I think it's a connection issue.
It might be because I can't get on Facebook as well. Oh dear. Well,
okay, let's do our best.
I'll hand it over to you, Socrates, and you take it from here. So if you'd like to tell a little bit about yourself. Sorry, Bex. I don't know why this is. I think my laptop's about to break, to be honest.
Okay.
So if you'd like to tell us a little bit more about yourself and what you'd like to talk about today, over to you.
Well, my name is Socrates. I'm a psychotherapist. I did my bachelor's in psychology and then I did a master's in integrative psychotherapy. I help people with different issues, so I can help anyone who has issues with difficult emotions most of the time. I don't work with educational issues, or I'm more. I specialize more in emotions and behaviors as well. And today, I thought of the lockdown, so I thought that it would be helpful for you to talk more about how we can deal with the lockdown, and how we can better our psychology during these difficult times.
Excellent.
I'm just wondering, before I start, I'm wondering if there is something specific that the audience phases. So if they face, if you guys face specific issues, then we can discuss them. You can write them at the comments, and I can tell you what my opinion is.
Yes. Okay. So if anybody's got any questions, just please type them below, and I'll put them on the screen like last time.
Okay. So to start with, I should say there are different ways to help ourselves to become stronger during these difficult periods. One way is to find ways to create a mindset that is not fixed. Okay, this is what we call the growth mindset. And let me tell you a bit more about the research behind it. The mindset theory started from a research that was made on children around the ages of 4 to 6, and they asked children to be in a room that they had nothing to do other than sit on a chair, and they brought them a marshmallow. So when they did, they said, you can eat it if you want, but if we come back after 5 minutes and you don't eat it, then we're going to give you a second one.
Yeah.
So some of the children actually ate it, and some others were able to wait. We know now that the children that were able to wait showed better grades at school, and they have in general a better lifestyle as grown-ups. And then we researched the grown-ups that used to be children at the time, and found certain tendencies that we distinguish into mindsets: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset.
Yeah.
So the fixed mindset is the type of mindset that where people are thinking, let's say, inside the box. So when they deal with a problem, when they deal with a problem, what they do is that they try to try the same types of solutions. However, the growth mindset is the type of mindset that helps people make choices from different points of view, not just one point of view. So if I was going to nail a nail on the wall, then I wouldn't be able to do it with a specific hammer, then I can change the hammer. Where someone with a fixed mindset will try with the same hammer again and again, although they know that the hammer is, I don't know, smaller than the need. We have a question. How to reassure my elderly mother who is over cautious and bordering on paranoia about contact, even at 2 meters with me? Okay. One of the things that is important with growth mindset is to recognize that we own our mindset. So that means that your mother owns her own mindset. That means that we shouldn't be trying to change their mindset, but be willing to support them for whatever they ask.
Yeah.
So if she asks for you to stay, I don't know, 5 meters away or not even see her, then if you actually do it, she will feel more comfortable with you. And then when she gains that trust emotionally, then she will want to make the steps to come closer. So it's about feeling that trust. And then because actually the mindset is only at the level of cognition. There is also the level of emotion. And that's where we should focus on your elderly mother.
My good question, Bex. My daughter's in full panic mode right now in the UK, and I'm over here, so I can't really help her. But the other day we nearly got into an argument because she's so set on, and I just talk her down and say, we've just got to deal with it one day at a time, and she's not dealing with her emotions very well. She could do it to you, actually, Socrates. If I just too close a connection. Thank you for that question, Bex.
You've spoken about your daughter, but I didn't hear the whole thing.
It's okay.
So is it okay if you repeat it?
Okay. I'll type it as a question.
All right.
I'm not typing. If anybody else has got any questions, please type them below. Spelling errors.
Okay. Trying to reassure her is like denying her experience of anxiety that leads her to be in panic.
Yes.
Okay. So this is how she feels when you reassure her. Well, the first question I would be asking how you feel in order to act in a way that you try to reassure her, and that would be how do you feel, Maria, in that case?
Well, can you hear me?
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's difficult. Being so much distance between us right now. The UK. So
my question was a bit more shallow / specific. I don't want the deeper answer. I want the direct answer.
How do I feel about her panic mode?
Yes. How do you feel about your daughter being in panic mode?
It's upsetting.
Sorry?
Upsetting.
Okay. So you trying to reassure your daughter, okay? It's really trying to remove that upset in you.
Yeah.
Okay. and the other person experiences that as control.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
because you want to, yes, control a situation that doesn't belong to you, belongs to her. Okay, so the answer is very similar to the previous question. You can make sure that you're there for her, and also maybe analyze together where all this panic is coming from. Is it coming from the news? Is she hearing the news and thinking of maybe she will get the virus, or maybe she worries by herself, without any external trigger? And this is again
Um,
this is in the shallow level, because if you go deeper, you will find out the relationship that she has with herself and why she accepts those thoughts to exist. But I'm trying to focus on the shallow, practical.
I know it's difficult with her being my daughter. You know, she's reactive. Whereas if she was speaking to someone else, it would be a different issue.
Mhm.
Okay.
How do you feel about my answer? Do you think it's?
It's, yes, I agree completely.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So the next question comes from George. What worries me at the moment is that I have a flight to Cyprus in July for 8 days, and if the flight goes ahead, I don't want to be isolated from family there where I usually stay. Okay. So you don't want, I will take it from the end to the beginning. You don't want to be isolated from your family where you usually stay, okay? And that is what you fear of. Um, and the question is, instead of this is a possibility, but the way you relate to this possibility is by worrying, okay? And that means that you perceive this possibility in a negative way. Ne- Perceiving things in a negative way is not necessarily bad. Uh, Being attached to negative thinking is a problem. But actually thinking negatively about something helps us to prepare for whatever is coming. So if you know that you're coming, or I mean you suspect that you're coming when the flight goes ahead, then and you think that you're going to be isolated, then you have two things to do. One, reassessing your option of coming to Cyprus or not. And then the second one is understanding how being isolated creates that worry. If you if you understand how being isolated creates that worry in you, then you can adapt to it. Okay. Um, it's worry works like a fear. When there is a threat, um, we we want to create distance from the threat, but the more we create distance, we become more anxious because we know that we didn't deal with the threat and it's still there. So that distance is helpful at the beginning because we're not prepared, but then we need to get prepared to face that fear. The same goes with the worry. You know that you may be isolated, so finding out how isolation would be and preparing for it will actually help you deal with your worry. That will not make the worry go on the very first day that you will arrive on Cyprus. The worry will still be there, but from the time you're coming, the worry will gradually reduce. And even if you are going to be in isolation, things will be much easier for you to deal with. And you can also find some positive things about isolation. You might, if you're isolated with other people, you might get to meet new people who are interesting and make new friends.
Yeah. Then the other thing, George, as well, is I have a couple of friends here that came from the UK and were sent for 2 weeks isolation in a really beautiful hotel in the mountains. It was amazing. The views, they got treated like kings and queens, 3 meals a day, in the water. Perfect. You've got your own free holistic retreat right there in the mountains.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And you will get to meet other people as well there. So I'd look forward to that personally, being in the mountains for 2 weeks.
Yes. You have the opportunity to go around, actually. Not for a big distance, but you can actually go out yeah.
Can we go to the mountains? I don't think we can go to the mountains.
Not for hiking, but you don't stay in the same hotel for all the time. That you're allowed to go like in the court area of the hotel.
Oh.
So there are activities you can do. It's for some of my friends that were isolated there, they saw it as a vacation.
I mean, I think that what an amazing free holistic retreat out in the woods. You've got time to meditate and reflect, introspect. Amazing. Sorry, Sarah says my father wants to.
My father wants to give me money because he feels we are in difficult times. I don't feel we are in difficult times. I don't feel I need the money just because he wants to give it to me. Okay, I think that you're doing the right thing. We might financially we might be in a difficult time maybe in the future because of the lockdown. However, we don't know if you can deal with your own finances by yourself. Then I don't think that you need to depend on your father, and this is what you are doing as well. I think this is what you're telling me from your message. What I think that you're asking is how to deal with your father who wants to give you those money. And one thing that there are two things. One of them is how to deal with the thoughts of your father, which are, I want to help my daughter be stronger. That you can clarify that when you need money, you are going to ask for them. So he doesn't feel that he needs to give you money now. And then there is also the emotional aspect that he wants to show to you that he's near you and he cares about you. Well, you need to respond to that as well and say thank you for being here for me, and I appreciate it, and I will have it in mind. Be appreciative in general.
Yeah, brilliant. Congratulations on the christening. I hope you managed to get here for it.
George is saying something. The reason I'm coming to Cyprus is my
nephew's christening.
Great. Okay. I'm not sure if you're welcome, Sarah. I'm not sure if you mean that you might be coming to Cyprus expecting to go to the christening and being isolated instead.
Yeah.
Uh, if this is the case, then first of all, you need to clarify that the christening is happening because many of them are cancelled and postponed. And then uh, maybe you can give a call, have a call at the embassy of Cyprus and ask them what are the procedures.
And then I thought everything was going to open up on the 9th of June now.
I'm not sure. I hope so,
Yeah.
because I have plans for the summer, but I don't know. I cannot say. It needs to be someone who's unofficial to tell us what's going to happen.
I was wondering, Socrates, because we didn't get a chance to speak beforehand. Do you have an exercise or anything that we can do live together?
Sorry, Mariam. Can you repeat it?
Do you want me to type it?
Yeah, it would be much easier.
No. My keyboard's broken and everything.
Um, yes, I do. What we can do, it's a written exercise.
Okay.
So if our audience has a pen and paper, that would be very useful. So let's give them a minute to find.
Yes or okay. Then we can start.
I'm not able to, to hear what you're saying.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know why. Usually people can hear me, but I can't
Um, okay, so let's wait for. Okay, all right. Some people are ready. Okay. This is a simple exercise that a lot of companies actually are doing in order to assess their how well they do in the market, and we will use the same exercise to assess how well we do with the lockdown.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing I'd like you to do is sorry.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, the first thing I'd like you to do is to identify your positive qualities. Okay, so write down as many positive qualities as you can. That might be anything that relates with your personality. It could be your skills. Um, it could even be material qualities like money or housing or any inner and outer resources. Okay. So the second thing I would like you to write, is it too quick?
Is everybody that one?
Let's give it 1 more minute.
Okay. It's like doing one of those yes or no lists for people.
Okay. So
do this as part of the hypnotherapy as well, and it's interesting doing it now after so many, because people find it really hard, don't they? And it's really doing it now.
Okay. So now I'd like you to write any negative qualities, weaknesses, liabilities, anything that is negative in your life.
Okay.
So at the next stage, I would like you to write any opportunities that exist because of the lockdown.
Opportunities.
Yes. So you might have more time to spend in learning a language or any other skill. Maybe renovating a part of your apartment or house. Bettering the relationship with your partner or children, parents.
I'm done. You don't.
I can't hear you well. but I think you're okay. And now I'd like you to write any threats or obstacles in your life with the lockdown. Okay, someone missed the question, so I will repeat. So, any threats or obstacles that we might have during the lockdown? Thank you for writing down.
Thanks, Beck. It's an exercise. Socrates. Can't hear me.
Sorry?
You can't hear me.
Okay. So, finally, I'd like you to write any actions that will activate those opportunities, and they will face those threats and obstacles. Okay. All right. So this was the exercise. I don't know how you found it. I hope it was helpful.
Yes, it's brilliant. Anybody want to leave feedback there? Any aha moments? I do apologise, guys, for the sound thing. Making it a bit difficult if you can't hear me.
It's a bit difficult if
Because you can't hear me.
yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Good stuff, Bex.
Great. So when you have a good action list, then you know what to do when the lockdown is it's happening, and when you are in question of what am I going to do now? I'm not going to be able to see my friends and all. Then you can have this list somewhere on a wall, and refer to it every time that you need a reminder on what you could do.
Yeah, brilliant.
Let's get it.
This one, sorry.
So many positive comments.
Yeah, that's good. Well done, Simone. And you, George, what's George saying? I prayed aliens sent healing out to all. Thank you, George. So do we. Well done, everybody.
I didn't hear anything. Praying is very useful, and it helps a lot, and it helps us develop the focus, the positive energy. So I would definitely recommend praying as a way to. It helps in so many things. So if you find it helpful, you should be doing it more.
Yeah. Prayer and meditation.
And meditation as well. Well, it's not too much for praying. It's very similar.
Yeah. It puts you in that mindset when you pray, doesn't it?
Yes.
Switch off from the walls. That's really interesting, Socrates. Thank you for that.
Thank you, and thank you everyone for spending the time to listen to.
That's okay. I'll just say what. Oops. Oh, hang on. Bex is asking a question. Talk about when lockdown people trusting each other again.
I think that everyone has their own schedule and activities that they do every day, and their own relationships, of course. And I don't think that that physical distancing, I'm not going to call it social, physical distancing is necessarily a social distancing. And if we keep having those connection with friends, family, then we will gradually find a way to regain trust. We can regain trust by just talking about it, talking about what worries us. So if I'm worried about coming too close to another person, I should say it and say, look, it's not that I don't trust you. It's the fact that I feel worried about this. Then gradually they're going to say the same thing or something similar, their own position. They might say I'm not worried at all, and that's okay. But then they know that you are worried, and they will need to respect that. So just by verbalizing how we feel, we are able to regulate ourselves, and others will regulate themselves based on how we feel, and us too, to how they feel. So that's a good way to build trust. Speaking, asking questions, sharing our emotions and experiences. This is very important.
Yeah. Communication is key for Socrates.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually end, Socrates, can you hear me? We usually end with three tips on how to survive a lockdown.
Mm-hmm. So one thing would be physical distancing is not social distancing. So you need to keep contact with your circle of friends and family. So that's the one. Second one is to have goals for this period. And the third one is to put those goals in a schedule. If you know that you're going to wake up at the same time every morning, and you're going to cook and eat at the same time, then you have something to look forward to. If you don't have that schedule, then it's okay to sleep a bit more. Then when you sleep a bit more, it becomes more and more, and then that ends up in some kind of depression, because you're not feeling energized to do more things. So always having in mind what we need to do, but perceive it as the potential of the present instead of the future, because if you perceive it as a future, it becomes anxiety. But if you perceive it as the potential of the present, then it becomes an opportunity.
Yes, well said. Well said, Socrates.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kathy, for your message, and blessings from me as well.
Thank you. Has anybody got any more questions before we get up here today? It's been a bit difficult because with the sound thing.
I can see a few more questions.
Okay.
One for meditation, one for sleep,
I'm missing
one for neighbors. Do we have the time to talk about this?
Yes.
Okay. So one of these things is, the downside is when I'm trying to relax, the neighbors are noisy, and that annoys me. Okay. Anything that has to do with the external world has to do with how we relate to it.
Yeah.
Okay. So finding out what annoys you with the noisy neighbors, then you'll be able to either change it or adapt to it. So, for example, my neighbors are noisy as well. I have two neighbors that are noisy. With the one neighbor that is noisy, I feel that I have a friendly person next to me who's enjoying himself, okay, with his family. So I project a positive vibe to what I'm hearing.
Yes.
When I'm hearing the other neighbor, though, it's a type of person that doesn't mind smoking in the building, although it's illegal and it's bothering us. So for me, his noise means a lack of respect to my privacy. So I project two different meanings on two different people, and the one noise is brings positive emotions to me, and I can actually sleep with the noise of the one neighbor, although he's louder than the other. And I cannot sleep with the slight noise of the other neighbor. So to make a change in that, I have tried to empathize with him and try to understand why he behaves the way he behaves. And I have the ability to empathize with him, but there are people that don't have the ability to empathize with him, and they give him a really hard time, and they give themselves a really hard time. So I recognize how life must be very difficult for him, whereas for the other person, it may not be so difficult.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you take this behaviorally, which is again very shallow, ignoring the neighbor for a period of time will initially increase his behavior and then gradually decrease his behavior if he's doing his behavior because of you. If he's just doing it because of himself and because of his how his life is, then my first suggestion is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Then another question, well, comment is: I meditate and read daily and study languages. That's very good.
Yeah, George.
Finally, I'm frustrated with not knowing what's ahead. Okay, I would say exactly the same thing. Nobody knows what's ahead, and we didn't know before the lockdown either.
No.
Okay, it's the way we relate to not knowing what's ahead that causes us to be frustrated. And the way of probably frustration is it's similar to anger, but it's not anger. It comes from wanting to do things but not being able to do them.
Yeah.
So one thing is to choose those things that we want to do, or find different ways to do them instead of trying again and again. And that's the growth mindset, actually, that we talked about before.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's it now, is it?
sorry?
I think that's it, is it? Have we done the questions?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, George, I don't think any of us are sleeping much now.
Okay, sleeping, yes. Okay. I don't sleep much now. The question is, what makes you not sleep? Are there any thoughts? Is there any tension? Do you push yourself to sleep, like even if you don't want to, because you say I have to? These are some questions. Well, exploring sleep more is important. As I said before, that when I was talking about my neighbor, I can sleep very well when I hear the other neighbor that is the friendly one. The one that is not friendly, I found it more difficult. Now I managed to be able to sleep when he's noisy. So that was one of the things that influenced my sleep. Sometimes what we eat influences us. So if we eat too much or too little before we sleep, or if we drink too much coffee in the previous 12 hours, or if we had alcohol, they definitely influence our bodies.
Yeah, water
There's,
too.
yeah,
Drinking
so
water before you go to bed helps to sleep as well.
and,
Okay, guys. I think it's time to wrap it up now. Please, thank you, thank you. You're a wonderful person, and I hope to see you again soon.
so as well, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on today. And
Thank you, everybody.
you can share the video afterwards with friends, Socrates, if you like, because they'll be able to watch the replay. Apologies for the sound. I don't know what's going on. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye bye. See
Bye.
you.